Hey there, welcome back guys. In this video we're going to be experimenting with the return home feature. That's right, you have an oh shit moment, you're like, oh my god, where's my drone? Oh, it's right there. Sometimes it happens in the beginning, no matter how big or how small your drone is, you just have that moment where you just forget where it is when it's right in front of you, or you just panic. And if you do, or maybe you don't know where you are and you want to fly back, you're not familiar with the orientation you're in, maybe it's too woody, maybe the landmarks look a little bit different, because in the beginning you always are nervous. So without any further ado, let's get started with the return home feature so that you can bring your drone back to where you started. All right, so we're gonna spin it around, bring the drone up. I'm just gonna fly it a little bit. You always want to know where your drone is when it's in the air. And before going left, right, north, south, east, or west, you always want to make sure that you're above the power lines, the fences, towers, and etc. And once you do that, you're good to go in any particular direction. Looks like we got a runner here. And I'm just going to fly, fly as far as I can go and see my drone, of course. You need to be able to see your drone, know its orientation. But in this case, we're just going to use the return. And this will happen. I'm going to be flying, I'm going to look down, and I'm like, oh no, where am I? You might not even have an oh shit moment and know where your drone is, and maybe you're just afraid to bring it back, right? So then what you'll do is, you'll pause a little bit, and then you'll press that return home button that is right on your controller stick, which is really easy to do. And I'm going to show you as easy as 1, 2, 3. See that right there? I'm going to record so that you guys can see. And whoops, the return home button is right there. 1, 2, 3. See that? And let me just stop recording on my screen, because it seems my camera angle is not as optimal as I want it to be. There we go. All right, so here we go again. See that? 1, 2, 3, and then you press it, right? And when you press it,
return to home.
You're gonna get this screen. Kind of looks like the Tron light bike feature, and it'll come back. Hopefully, right? You want to make sure the home point is set to where you actually took off from, and not the home point to where you actually live. So you watch it. You could always cancel it. You see where that little button says tap to cancel return home, and most likely it might go back to where I was. Or you could always change that by updating your home point. It looks like it is. No, it's coming back here. Okay, what do you know? Kind of neat. Right where I am, and it's landing. Look at that. Coming down, coming in, and voila! Wow, it's landing right where it actually took off from. All right, and I'm going to cancel it so that we know it. And I'm just going to move the camera angle up a little bit so that you guys can see me. Kind of neat, huh? But just got to remember to stop it before it starts to come down, because if you're not in an area that's open and there are a lot of trees, it's just going to come back down. There's obstacle avoidance, but I wouldn't really trust it. The newer drones with the LiDAR systems might create an experience that's just right for you. But as you know, if you've been following me, I'm just not a fan of that return home feature at 100%, but I will use it up to the, a point where I feel like I can take control of the drone, which is what you want to do. As soon as you can see your drone, as soon as it's in the area, we're like, oh, there it is, then you can relax and take control of it again and land it, or or just continue flying. But how does it work at night, right? So let's check that out too. Come. All right, we are good to go. We did a check on everything. No TFRs, and obstacle avoidance is disabled. Make sure, I usually like to go about 200 feet before moving north, south, east, or west, and I just do a full 360 to make sure things are good to go. Before I go, oh nice, different lighting tonight. So we're 178, moving up slow, probably because it's not in night mode and it's in regular camera mode. And it looks kind of interesting. Oh, see how it changed so suddenly as I got higher, 235 feet up, which is fine. That was really interesting with the lighting structure. All right, knowing that and moving forward, they're just gonna take a snapshot of that. That looks kind of cool. And now we are clear. Remember, we recently got an error before because there was just too much wind. All right, we're gonna enable night mode so that the drone has a little bit of an experience that might be just right for you. And there we are, in night mode. And now we're going to just turn the camera around a little bit and fly toward, we'll just go into town. Again, before moving in any direction, north, south, east, or west, left, right, forward, backwards, make sure you're high enough. Make sure you've been there during the day, right? Don't just assume, oh, I've been there during the day, I know where things are. Do a day flight in the location you're going to do your night flight. And I apply the same thing to hiking. If you're going to hike somewhere in the outskirts of the mountains, know, wow, that plane is really low. Know before you go. Usually we get an altitude warning though with the remote receiver. Oh, that's because my drone is farther away. But you can hear it. So you have like an oh shit moment. You're like, oh my God, what is that? Okay, so let's say, here I am flying around town, looks really nice, just enjoying the night, and I'm like, oh no, where am I? Oh, look at that bright light in the sky. And don't assume, like, if you see another drone, don't fly towards it. Don't be like, oh my God, you fly, so do I. They can't hear you, they can't see you, and it's just not really good etiquette. All right, so we'll just go around. If you can see our home point, so we're just flying around, we're just trying to see we can have an oh shit moment. This usually happens when you're first time in the middle of nowhere. You're like, oh my God, where am I? In this case, you can't. See that H at the bottom of the screen? You're pretty much gold. You just look for that H and you're fine. Here, we're in a park right here. Looks like we're in a park. See? And you're like, oh no, what do I do? How do I get back home? You just press that home button like you saw previously in the daytime. I'm going to press it. And then, hopefully,
return to home.
It should return home. Make sure you have return home altitude set. For me, I believe it's at 3 something, see? And you want to have that set. Let's say if we're at 200 feet and the return home altitude is set to 100 feet, you're pretty much going to lose your drone because I believe those power lines or telephone poles are within, crashing distance for you to cash in on your care refresh. So just remember, set return home before your flight. I have mine set right now. Okay, let's see, and there's our drone. It's above us, and as it starts to descend, I will probably deactivate it when I can see it. See, it says landing. It's going to land in, and I'm going to get control of it in about a second. I'm going to press. You can press the button or tap to cancel return home button. Okay, and then now, what I can do is I can take control of the drone, and maybe, since the family's back, land the drone in the back, right? So that you can not have any distractions. You really don't want any distractions when flying. You want to give your full, undivided attention to your drone and your family after. All right, knowing that, moving forward, we're going to start our descent. And in this case, there are some trees, but we still got it. I'll be able to land and bring it in. There we are. And thankfully there are no trees. There's some trees on the property where you see me fly with the avata. And then now, yeah, we are on the property. And now we can zoom in. Can't really see me, but I'll bring it down some and bring it around. And that's pretty much it. Kind of neat, huh? That's how you do the return home feature on the Mavic 3. Anyway, that's pretty much it. I hope this video helped you. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them down below, or ideas for other videos. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.